What is going on, Nissan Nation? From all things Nissan here in Middle Tennessee to wherever you're watching us on YouTube, this is your Nissan Nation podcast update, and I'm your host, David Boyd. So, a couple weeks ago, this caught my attention, and I've just been letting it settle a little bit, just under my skin a little bit, and I'm like, man, we're going to get into some kind of garbage journalism. And we're going to get into some garbage journalism when it's with the Nissan Z. So, let's just get right into it. So, Car and Driver used to be the benchmark of auto journalism, right? Like, if Car and Driver, they were the sort of Bible of new cars and talking about heritage cars and stuff. They had the best journalists. They had the best everything. All these manufacturers just couldn't wait to them to review their cars because they gave a quality review. Sometimes a little smug, but it was a really good review. But guess what? They suck now, and here's why. So, Car and Driver, Nissan Z, spied, testing at Nürburgring racetrack. Wow. Oh my God, we've been waiting for this one forever, right? Oh my God, the new Z. We've been teased. Every Tokyo auto show was, oh my God, the Z. They're gonna show the Z. They're gonna show the Z. Crickets? I haven't seen it yet, guys. Because Nissan is not the type of company that's just going to start throwing cars out there and oh, they picked up on it. So, Nissan Z spied testing. Let's look at this photo. As you can see, this is a 370Z. All day long. This is not a test mule. The next Z is going to be on a new platform. They're not going to rehash a platform that's been around since 2004. It's not going to happen, guys. This platform they've maxed out everything they can do. Look at Nismo of this. Nismo can't do any more with this car. So what makes me think this 370Z is it? So as you can see the holes in the front of the grille, right? Oh, they popped off the badging, the Nissan Burger logo on the front. It's got to be a test mule, right? I mean, that clearly right there says it. What's under all that? That's a license plate. What? Nissan, if they're going to test a car, they didn't go and put a plate on it. They didn't go ahead and make it street legal so we can drive it around town. Why are we testing it at a famous racetrack then? Let's look on the side of this car. I mean, clearly, it's you can see the concept all over this car, right? Except for the fact that the only thing that would make you think anything about this car is somebody put a Nissan sticker on the side. A sticker on the side of the car. When was the last time you seen any manufacturer win a test mule put their name all over the car? Wait, let's pop the burger logos off, but yet, people need to know, right? They need to know that it's a Nissan. So let's put a big vinyl sticker on the door that says Nissan. This is garbage journalism, people. This is clickbait BS that causes, they can do this little article and it spreads like wildfire on Facebook and in all the little forums. That's all it is to keep, it's not that it's a real car. It's the fact that Car and Driver and all these supposed magazines, they're not making money anymore. They need your clickbaity pushing of the buttons so you go and look there and spread their BS stories. That's all it is. So we're take this down just a little bit. So these 5 photos show the Nissan Z mule doing high-speed tests at the Nürburgring in Germany. When was the last time you seen a spy photo that didn't have camouflage? If they're going to show a car, they're camouflaging the piss out of that car. You're not gonna get an idea of the body lines and stuff when you can clearly tell this is a 370Z. Once again, they only do this so that you'll spread this crap to keep their name, keep Car and Driver relevant. That's it. You've been had. Hey, Z fanboys, you've been had. This is garbage, and I've seen this go everywhere. So, looking once again, it's like, well, since this version is almost identical to the current production model, we think it could be a test bed for an all-new powertrain. What? They're just putting a new engine in the old Z? Wrong. They don't do that. I mean, yeah, Nissan North America had Motorsports or whoever did the 3.0 twin turbo from the Infinity. They put it in a Z, and Z1 Motorsports had a hand in all that, and yeah, that was cool. But guess what? That was just to kind of make have fun with the car. That wasn't this is how it's gonna be. So you clearly see the holes in the front of the car, and yeah, you can see in the grill a little bit. This is some guy out there racing his car. To me, is what this looks like. This isn't Nissan doing this. If Nissan wants to test a Z, guess what? How many racetracks are in Japan? Nissan has their own course in a plant. Every GT-R that comes out of the same place that the Z comes from, guess what? They take it around a ring to make sure it's built to spec. Do you not think if you were going to test something, you might do it in your own home place? No, let's boat our prototype car all the way to Germany just to test it there, because that's the famous ring that everybody tests their final products around the ring, because everybody wants that honor of being the fastest around that ring. You don't do it with your prototype stuff, guys. So I'm not going to dig too far into this article, because it's just everything written about it is so speculative and just BS. Yes, as a Z fanboy, the car is well past its prime, ready for something new. No kidding. Thanks, car and driver. Thanks for. Why don't you come in Middle Tennessee and everybody that's leased a Z from the plant around here? Why don't you go start snapping pictures of them and going, look, clearly they have hundreds of test mules out there because people are driving them. Wow, mind blower. Sorry, I'm fired up about this. This just trips me out. So let's look at what Nissan is doing right now. So for the this year they did the Heritage Collection, and it was a big thing at the New York Auto Show. They from GTR on down, they showed Z, and they put some stickers on it. They kind of made it look fun, but at the end of the day, it's the same Z that you can buy. They're upselling you on some stitching in the seats, and that's about it. Once again, Nismo has done almost everything they can with this current car. So if Nismo can't get much more out of it, why are we at the Nürburgring with the same car? Just goofy. So looking at it, yeah, the Heritage version, I forget how many they released. It wasn't a ton. Pretty much, all your cool dealerships got one. It's going to sit there for a bit because it's a little bit more pricey for. It's basically vinyl decals on the side of the car. Kind of reminds you of the BRE, I think, their old race program that kind of reminds you of that a little bit. We'll get into this, and this is from Automobile Magazine. Dropping the Roadster is not a sign of Nissan abandoning the sports car. Well, no kidding, because they didn't say they were abandoning it. They just said we're not going to manufacture a convertible anymore. So you got that going for us. Let's see. And this is Espinona assures us that there is a next generation coming, and it is important to the company. You're damn right it is. It's a heritage car. In many ways, the Z has more heritage than the GTR, because due to Goen's goofiness, we could have had a Skyline GTR, which fanboys here would have went nuts about. But no, we got to separate the GTR off of it and make it its own brand, which you like it or love it. I preferred the Skyline. Obviously a lot of the fanboys, Fast and the Furious, made this real popular, but a lot of the fanboys, you want what you can't have, right? So everybody can have a GTR. So everybody, I think if you took a poll, I think the R34 would outweigh the current R35 of desirability. But so yeah, in many ways the Z has more heritage and history than the GTR, because we in the States got the car. We bought more than anybody else. We really, that was our affordable sports car, and it did change the way people did sports cars. In the 70s, the little 240s came out. They were super, super light, pretty quick for what they were in the time, and they handled like a European race car. So yeah, we grew to love that car, and now we're where we're at with a car that's way past its prime. But guess what? Nissan has a history of just stopping production of cars. And why would they stop production of this car? Let's look at the numbers. So Nissan sales figures for 2019. So far, they've sold 2,067 Zs. Wow. That's killing it, right? No, not really. That's pretty horrible when you consider in 2005 they sold 27,278 of these. And yeah, we've had a market crash in between that, and they refreshed it in '09, bumped the sales up. Let's see, in '09 they got back up to 13,117, and then it just starts sliding back down again. And it's because the car's starting to look old compared to, you got BMW that's, it seems like every 2 years is bringing out some new kind of cool luxury sport. You got Mercedes doing the same thing. You've got Lexus really pushing into this market now. Hell, you've got Chevrolet now with a new Corvette that, I won't say it's affordable because I don't find $59,000 for a base sports car affordable when I'm practical affordable as everybody can buy one. But everybody's refreshing the two doors, and it's time for Nissan to do it. But once again, Nissan has a way of going, let's just stop production for a bit. Like they've done it with the Skyline, they've done it with GTR, they've done it with the Z before. The 300ZX stopped in '97. We didn't get one until 0405 again. We didn't get the next 350Z. So I kind of feel like they're gonna stop it for a year or so. Build the excitement back up. I've heard the same thing from GTR. There was, initially Nissan didn't want to sell a ton of these GTRs. For God's sakes, it's a supercar. Supercar. You don't tend to want to sell 100,000 supercars. Lamborghini, with the Huracan, it's their best-selling car, but by no means is it like a car that they want to, they want to sell, but they're not looking to do 50, 70,000 a year. So, yeah, it's looking more like the Z could be put on hold for a bit with this. They're barely selling 200 a month, and at that, I know dealers that are just having to basically give them away to get them out of their deal. It's you have one in your showroom just to have one because it's a Z, and it does have some heritage and a name brand to it to bring people into a dealership. But at the end of the day, the person that wants to buy it, I don't know. So let's before we end this, let's get into what could the Z turn into. Clearly, they have a 3-liter twin turbo that Infinity's using that could be the next motor in it. And wouldn't it be cool if they brought back the 300 name? I keep hearing 400. The 4-liter Nissan's going to quit making it in the Frontier. They're having all kinds of emission problems with their 4-liter. Could they fix it for a Z? I'm sure they could, but all the motors are going smaller. We're into the days of like big. We need big liter engines is kind of over, man. I think it's been proven through all the manufacturers are able to get more power out of a smaller liter engine. So the 3-liter could be it, or could they be something new coming? The speculation, I do not know. I do not have contacts with Nissan Japan currently that would tell me anything. Nissan Japan is the most tight-lipped ship I've ever seen, and for good reason. And that's once again why these BS articles by Car and Driver, they just show their BS, man. Once again, when you see a Z floating around in pictures with camouflage all over it, then I'll be like, okay, now there's a test mule. But till we see that, And once again, look at the sales numbers. They just trickle down and down and down. So, in my opinion, it's probably due to be shelved for a year. I would say 2020 might be its final year, and then let's put it on hold for a year or two. Same with GTR. I think GTR, I was told at one time that GTR was going to be shelved for 2021 and not come out till about 2024. Who knows? What do you guys think on these clickbaity articles? Do you get excited about them and then finally read them and be like, well, that didn't tell me anything? Or does it make you does it give you interest in the Z again? I do. Yeah, it does show interest, and sometimes Nissan's PR people do push these little things of they have a good way of swaying you when they want you to write what they want to talk about. And sometimes, yeah, the Z does need to be kind of brought to America's attention. And it's like, hey, look, we still do a pretty affordable sports car. So let us know what you think in the comments below. So from all things Nissan here in my office to wherever you're watching us on YouTube, this has been your Nissan Nation podcast. And I'm your host, David Boyd. Peace.